from every word I've spoken here today. She'd struggled and fought for the life she'd built, having foolishly believed this man had cared for her. Lowering her free hand, she lifted the backpack, but it would not fit across her back with the shoulder pads of her new armor. Herrick took a step toward her, but it landed as a heavy thud. She'd never seen him in a half shift. His eyes glittered with predatory intent. Sharp fangs of his dragon struggled to break free of his misshapen mouth. His voice couldn't sound any more inhuman. "What do you think you are doing?" She steeled her voice to come out strong. "I am done with all of this. Do not try to stop me from leaving." "Take a step toward that door, and you shall regret it." Sliding her sword back into the sheath inside her pack, she slung a strap over her shoulder. Without another word, she headed for the door. A loud growling noise from a creature who had ruled the skies long ago blasted the air. She had no idea how she knew, but she realized the second he lunged at her from behind. Energy rolled down her arm as she spun and shoved a hand at him. Power crackled, then punched him square in the chest. Herrick's big body flew backward, hit the floor, and slid against the wall, knocking over a candle stand. Stones cracked and buckled, debris raining down on him. His body returned to a fully human shape, but he didn't move. Cleo hurried over and dropped to one knee. The seer checked for a pulse, then turned to Casidhe. "He'll live." Good. Casidhe felt sick and frozen. She hadn't intended to kill Herrick, but he had better never try to put a hand on her again. When Cleo stood, she gave Casidhe a deep bow of her head and lifted upright again. The woman's eyes gleamed with something Casidhe wanted to call admiration. Giving the seer a brief nod, she turned again to leave. When she reached the door, she grabbed the thick metal handhold and whipped the massive entrance door so hard it slammed the wall. She looked at her hand. Stepping forward, she continued out into the cool night and drew in a deep breath of freedom that cleansed her soul. One of Herrick's men still tended the fire. He watched her intently as she took the steps down. This was no time to crumble or show weakness. Herrick had crushed her heart, but he no longer held her every thought in his grip. She now knew the truth of her position here. She had no position, no significance. Her eyes burned with tears she refused to give into. Not here. Her chest physically hurt, as if she'd been clawed open. Crackling fire off to her side tossed shadows in the dark night. One foot in front of the other. Keep doing that, and she'd cross 200 yards to make it out of here. Look at the positive. No more questioning where she stood with Herrick, or what action she could take without upsetting him, or the fear of failing at her duty. She'd spent her life trying to be worthy of Herrick. She'd never questioned if Herrick had been worthy of her. Had it all been a sham? Pain burst behind her eyes, turning her vision red as she grimly forced her feet to move faster. Who was she? Where had she come from? She had vague memories of her time as a small child before a man snatched her up, covered her head, and delivered her to Herrick's castle. She only knew what the castle lord had told her, along with the McConnell Squire family. Was it all lies? Had any of it been true? For the first time in many years, she tried to reach back in time before her arrival at the castle, searching for something she could cling to, and found nothing, just blurred memories. Herrick lied to her. He'd had her captured just to twist and use for his own purposes. Where had she been?